guys, welcome to Gemma B Makes. I'm Gemma and this is my crafty podcast where I talk about all the things that I've been making over the past couple of weeks. It has been about 2 weeks since I've last seen you. We are full on in lockdown mode at the minute. For anybody that is watching this in the future, we are in the middle of the pandemic craziness that is going on in the world right now, and yeah, it's all a little bit freaky, isn't it? So I thought we'd come here, have a little bit of light-heartedness, escapism with our crafts. I've been doing some knitting, some crochet, some sewing and some dyeing. So I'm going to dive right in. I'm going to start by telling you what I'm wearing. This is my shepherd's purse tee by the Crochet Project. It is crocheted in some lace weight that my lovely friend Esther hand spun for me. I love it. It's nice that this weather over the past couple of days has been absolutely glorious. Beautiful, beautiful weather. We can't go anywhere, but we have been in the garden and doing a little bit of digging out there, playing with water, and yeah, it's been quite nice. So it's nice to be able to get a nice breezy t-shirt out. I'm going to start with a couple of finished objects that I did. The first one is a crochet, again, actually, by the Crochet Project. This was my Holbrook Hills mystery crochet along, and I have finally finished it. So I crocheted this in Coop Knits, Soxier, and this light grey colour is Northshire Yarns in the November Morning colourway. This blue is Beryl by Coop Knits, and this darker grey here is Low Light, also by Coop Knits Soxier. And it's really, really long, quite thin, and it's really, really soft. Blocking, when I blocked this, really did soften the Coop Knits, the Soxier. This Northshire Yarns is an alpaca silk and cashmere, so it is already wonderfully soft. But yeah, it's really lovely. It's really quite a small, I like a nice big thick chunky scarf. I've got to say, I like it to keep me nice and warm. I like to be able to, in these times. But Edward really likes it, and I think he's kind of pinched it as his scarf for the winter. So that's good. There's a nice blues, but yeah, it was really, really nice to do. It is the pattern is really, really simple. It's one stitch going one way, another stitch coming another way, with short rows in between. So, really, really effective. Lovely, lovely shawl. It got a little bit arduous towards the end with all the crochets through the back loop. But it does make this lovely textured effect, so it's kind of worth it in the end. And the finished project is really, really nice. This Coop Knits, especially this colour, I don't know if it's going to show up, but it's like a really heathered effect, and it's got, although it looks like a dark grey green, it's actually got a lot of purple through it. It's really, really pretty. So I was happy with that. One little finished object. It was nice to be able to go through my whips actually and find out, I think I did that last couple of weeks ago, just went through everything that I've got in project bags, decide what it is that I'm enjoying, what I'm not enjoying, realised that this was so very close to being finished, and got it finished, and it's nice to have that project out and done. So I have another finished object, which I'm really, really happy about, and I think is probably the fastest project that I've ever done. But these are my rainbow socks. How cool are these, guys? I absolutely love them. So Mel Brown of Mel Brown's Crafting podcast, you guys have heard me talk about her lots before because I really enjoy her podcast and she's a good friend. she was doing a rainbow sock along with Sarah, and I really fancied joining in. Now this yarn that I have is, I want to say it's called from Wild Bobbins Yarns. Now it was my first ever stash. So I bought these a long time ago. They came as a rainbow set of minis, and I really wanted to make some rainbow socks quite a while ago. They've been sat in my stash for about 2 years now, and I thought it was about time that they came out and made their lovely debut in some beautiful socks. I paired it with, again, Coop Knits socks. Yeah, this is in the Dan Bright colour. Dan Bright. And this pattern is something that I just came up with just to play with slip stitches. Now, again, I'd seen Mel in her very past episodes, a long time ago. She did a pair of socks called the Geek Socks. And I remember her saying how easy they were with slip stitches. Now, at the time of when I knew that I wanted to do this, I couldn't for the life of me remember what they're called, and I couldn't find the episode, and I was searching through Mel's back episodes. Anyway, I thought, do you know what, I'm just going to try my own. I started on toe first. My lovely friend Esther has just done a sock pattern, which I'll get to in a minute, that starts toe up, and I thought, do you know what, I really enjoyed doing Esther's pattern, which again I'll show you in a minute. I'm going to pinch her toe, so I've stolen Esther's toe from her socks, and I did these toe up. And then I just slipped a couple of stitches. I slipped 2 stitches, 2 by 2, and then I slipped 1 on the next round, and it worked out. The effect, I think, I'm really, really happy with. And it wasn't till I'd totally finished the socks and I had a little look on Ravelry that the Geek socks popped up, and they are very, very similar. They're not the same. This is giving quite a different effect, but the technique of how to do it is in these Geek socks. And I will put the name of the lady who has designed, I think it's May something, but I can't remember, I'm sorry. I also did my very first German short row heel. I just did a YouTube tutorial, so I got so far up my sock, did a German short row heel, and carried on in a 2 by 2 cuff at the top, and I am so happy with how these turned out. I think I knit, I knit each sock. They took 3 days each. 3 days. I knit a pair of socks in less than a week, and I am super duper happy with them. And the fit of them is absolutely brilliant as well, if I do say so myself. Yeah, I really like the German short row heel as a fit. Although I always say this, when I first make socks and I first try them on after blocking, I always think, oh, they fit really nice. And it's always 2 weeks down the line, after you've worn them a little bit, that you find the slip and the twist, and find out whether they actually fit. I think I've only actually made 3 pairs of socks that have ever fit me properly, that don't turn around and twist on my feet. So we'll have to see when I say they fit nice. They fit nice now, nice and snug, but they have got a little bit of negative ease with them. So we'll see how they go, but I really, really enjoy them, and I think I might have enough in my minis to make another pair, even if there might be shorty ones, but I really hope so, because I really like them. Super duper happy. I think if anybody would like the pattern and how I've done the pattern, just shoot me a message and I'll write it out for you, but it's super duper simple. I was happy with that. So yeah, I got 2 finished objects. So I got my shawl and I got a full pair of socks in this past week. So I was really, chuffed. I have also got a couple of works in progress. I have been working on again, a little design. I can't call it a design. It is an infinity cowl, essentially. So this is what I've been knitting. This yarn is Northshire Yarns. Again, it's her baby alpaca silk and cashmere base. It is absolutely the softest thing I've ever felt, and this is in I want to say it's Wise Hearts and Lost Jewels, I believe. Let's have a little look. I can only find one. Yeah, I've only got one of her, but yeah. There's Northshire Yarns, and this one is Wise Hearts, and you can see there 70% baby alpaca, 20% silk and 10% cashmere. It is absolutely stunning. So all I've done here is I did a provisional cast on of about 100 stitches, I think, and I've knit in one colour and then for however long I wanted and swapped to the next colour, and again, and I just keep swapping and doing stripes, and it is my just easy peasy knitting the round stockinette project that I can pick up as I'm watching TV, or as it's been this week, out in the garden while the boys are playing in the water table or playing with bubbles, and I can sit and just watch them play with that while I do a little bit of knitting. I have been trying out a little bit of helical knitting, helical knitting. Anyway, it's basically one by one. Each row swaps the yarn, and no, I've not explained that very well at all. It's a way of carrying your yarn on the inside if you knit each row without getting any kind of gaps in between. And I've really enjoyed that, although it's turned the yarn a little bit mushy. I've lost the colour in it, I think. But I wanted to practice until I could get all the way around until where I started, which I think I'm nearly there. And then I'll just carry on. But yeah, I can't wait for this to actually get finished, because it is the softest thing ever. So nice. Although we are starting to get the lovely weather, and yeah, I don't think there's going to be much call for big snuggly cowls throughout the summer, but it'll be nice to have for when the winter comes. Yeah, super duper soft. I really do love the Northshire yarns, especially that base. I mean, it's a really luxury purchase, but you know, it's like butter. It's beautiful, so soft. So I've enjoyed doing that. It's easy peasy, not thinking about knitting, which is what I've needed while I've been out and about with the boys, when you've got to keep an eye on them. So I'm just gonna get drunk. Oops, I just had a little bit of a camera collapse. I hope that's set up all right. Let me just, well, we're just gonna go with it. So I hope you can see me. So as well as the easy peasy knitting that I've been doing, I mentioned my friend Esther, who hand spun this lovely yarn for me for my top, has been designing a sock pattern, and because we all are part of a WhatsApp group within our spinners, so I've really missed my spinners. We've not been able to meet up for, was it nearly 4 weeks now, and I really do look forward to my woolly Wednesdays. But as a little bit of fun, Esther has been designing a sock, and she's been releasing parts of it to us bit by bit. So we're doing our very own little mystery knit along with Esther's new sock pattern. I don't want to say too much about it because it is hers, and I think she will be releasing it at some point, and I don't know if I need to share it. So all I'm going to say is I've got to here. We've got the foot of the sock, and it was a toe up pattern which I'd never ever tried before, and I've done, I mean, obviously you can see that I've done both of these now, and I really enjoyed doing the toe up, which is why I pinched the toe for doing my sock. I am knitting these in some Regia sock yarn. I don't know what it's called. It's got a colour number, it's got numbers, but it's a pretty cool grey fader. I quite like it. It's fading in different ways. So Esther just sent us the heel for this yesterday, and I'm going to give that a little go tonight, which should be quite cool. Although I've got these on one needle at the minute, so it makes it look like I've done 2 at a time, but I really didn't do 2 at a time. I did one and then the other, and then I pinched my needles to do the other sock. But yeah, I enjoyed doing that. It was nice. It's nice to be able to sit down and do a technique that you've never done before. It uses Judy's Magic Cast On. Yeah, what a brilliant cast on that is. I enjoyed that a lot. Actually, you can see there's a little bit of it's a little bit pointy on either side. You can see, sort of. I don't know if you can see. I can see. This was the first one where I've got quite a bit of slack, and then this one here, and then when you go to the ones that I've done here, I managed to, well, I've blocked them now, but when I knit them, I managed to get the technique, so actually it looked really good. I'm happy in the knowledge that this will block out this little bobbly bit on the side, but the fit's really nice. It actually fits around the toe, so I'm looking forward to the rest of Esther's sock pattern, and hopefully I will be able to share it with you, because I think she is going to be releasing it. I don't know if it's just for her or if it's going to go on sale at some point, or she's going to release it as a free pattern. I have no idea. But for the time being, we are really having fun knitting along and getting the release dates of everybody making along. So they are all my whips that I am a finished project. They are actually all my projects that I've been doing. I've got one more project that I haven't done anything with since last time I podcast, and that is my mushroom toadstool socks, the Lucy Lockett Land, I can't remember what they're called. The Magic Toadstool socks. So I haven't done anything with those, but apart from that, these are the only projects that I have on the go. I finished my sweater a couple of weeks ago, and I've been a little bit stuck, to be honest. I really want to make another hand spun jumper, but I don't have the yarn for it yet, and the amount of spinning that I did a couple of weeks ago really hurt my shoulder. I give myself some serious repetitive strain in my shoulder, and it's only just going. So I should be able to spin again soon, but I don't want to push it too soon because I don't want it to come back. It really hurt. So it was getting to the point where I'd done too much spinning, I'd killed it. I still have the passion for it and I still want to be able to do it, but I'd hurt myself. So my plan was to do some dyeing. I thought I could dye some yarn. I've got lots of undyed yarn that I picked up from Yarndale last year in the hopes to make myself a jumper. But when I was looking through the dyes that I had, I don't actually have enough dye to get a really rich colour, which is what I wanted. I don't have the amount of dye that I'd need to make the colour that I wanted for a jumper for me. However, I did have enough dye to make the colour for a jumper for the boys. So if you didn't know, I have 2 boys. I have Edward, who is 7, and I have James, who is 2. So we had a little day together, me and Edward. We were playing with different colours on how to get different colours using the dyes, and we just had a little bit of a play day really. We did some experiments. He had his goggles on. It was all very cute. So I want to show you. So I did 2 skeins dyed for James and 3 skeins for Edward, and I have already cast on for James, and I'm going to make them both flaxlight jumpers. So this is the colour we got for James. It turned out a really nice, like denim-y colour, I want to say. Yeah, it just kind of reminds me of jeans. yeah, a blue. We got a blue, which is what, you know, what we wanted for James. And I cast on the Flax Light by Tin Can Knits. This is a free pattern available on Ravelry. I've got it on really small needles, so you're not going to be able to see it very well. But it's actually knitting quite nicely. The yarn is 100% merino. It's not a superwash. Oh, is it? Yes, sorry, it is. It is a superwash. So it's a superwash merino, no nylon. But you can see just like the little bit of variegation that I got with the dyeing, which is really kind of what I was aiming for. So I'm quite happy with that and how it's turned out. It's got like a little garter ridge on the arm. Can you see where the arms are? I'm nearly ready to split for the sleeves. I'm hoping, so I'm doing a jumper for James, a jumper for Edward. Eventually I'd quite like to do one for David as well. And I'm aiming to make them all for Christmas. And I know it's very early and Christmas is miles away, but I will not be in the same position as last year when I was making Christmas presents like frantically in December. I'm starting now and everybody can have a jumper for Christmas. So I'm making everybody the bigger size than what they are right now. So this is, I think it's a 2 to 4 in the children's size, and I'll make Edward the age 8. I think it might be 8 to 10. So yeah, it's really nice. So that's the colour that I got for James. Now Edward wanted a much darker blue. We didn't quite get the blue that he was looking for, but we tried adding some black to Edward's blue. Now you can't really tell much of a difference that we've got, so let's see if we, so I don't know if you can see, James is just that slightly bit brighter. Edward's we dulled off with some black, adding some black, trying to get a few black speckles throughout. The speckles didn't really work, they dispersed, but hopefully when it knits it should get that little bit of flash of a nice dark blue that goes through. I think that's a much more, it's still a denim colour. You know, it's just more of a darker, I'd like to say a dark jean jacket. But yeah, we had fun doing that. You can kind of see some of the darker bits throughout that side there. But yeah, it was a fun day. We had fun dyeing yarn and yeah, choosing colours. I didn't have much to choose from in the way of dyes, so I'll have to do a little invest when the lockdown is up, and I can actually, you know, go and have a look around and find out what it is that we need. I really wanted to dye myself a jumper. I have a few patterns in mind of what I want to make for myself, but nothing's jumping out at me, nothing's really grabbing me at the minute. I think I need a little bit more inspiration before I decide on what it is that I'm going to make. And for now I'm really quite happy making jumpers for my boys and crazy rainbow socks. I think I'm going to have to cast on another pair of those socks because they made me so happy. You know, in a time where you're not supposed to be touching your face, I've got alpaca in it's got something up my nose. Yeah, in a time that we're not supposed to be touching our face and I'm constantly touching my face, it's so hard. I think I'm addicted to touching my face, especially when working with alpaca. It gets right up my nose. So because I've lost a little bit of my mojo for me, I haven't lost my mojo, I still love knitting. I can pick up anything and start knitting it. I've just lost a little bit of inspiration of what I want to make for myself. I've been trying to get down the way of a handmade wardrobe, and you know, it's getting a little bit warmer now, so knitting jumpers for myself is probably not what I want to be doing right now. I think I just really want to be able to do some spinning. I want to be able to spin some yarn, and I want to be able to knit a hand spun jumper. So I think that's why I'm a little bit lost, because I know what I want to do, I'm unable to do it. So I have been doing some sewing. So to show you, I have made the Porsche trousers by Sew Me Something. I picked up some denim from the Harrogate Knitting and Stitching Show in 2018. And I was a little bit of a loss of what to do with it. I picked it up really cheap. It was the end of the day and everybody was packing up, and I just don't think he wanted to take it home, and he sold it to me really cheap. Now making a pair of jeans, I don't know, it seems really daunting to me. So I just kind of used the jean material as a twill, really, as a practice, because I saw these again. I picked up this pattern at Harrogate Knitting and Stitching Show in 2019. I thought, do you know what, I'm going to make myself a pair of big jeans. So without further ado, I'll see if I can step back and you can see the trousers that I made. So are you ready? Go. Guys! So these are my Porsche trousers. How cool are my jeans? So they have pockets at the front with a nice welt, pocket welt, a waistband and a fly zip, which, you know, I did quite well. Pockets. They have some darts at the back here and pockets at the back, and a really nice big wide leg. And I mean, there's a little bit of room, but they fit and are super comfy. Da, 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 da. I'm just being a goon. But guys, I'm really happy with them. How cool is that? Sorry I can't get much of a better view. So how cool is that? I made myself a pair of trousers. Now guys, I was really happy with how they turned out in the end, but to get to the end result was a little bit I don't know, it's quite hard. You know, I'm quite a beginner sewer. I'm saying I'm a beginner sewer. I've been sewing for, well, about 2 years now since I've been doing the vlog. And my thing is I'm quite easy at following a pattern. I like things to be precise. The favourite part about sewing for me is cutting out the pattern, because I like to be able to trace it all out perfectly and cut it all out precisely. That's what I like to do. And when I'm sewing, I like it to be neat. I like it to be how it's written. However, I found the instructions to be well, they're not beginner instructions, and it quite clearly says on the front of it that it's an intermediate pattern, and unless you've made quite a few pairs of trousers, I had to like research a lot of how to do things, because it really did confuse me at the point. You can see I couldn't work out how to do the fly zip from the instructions. What else was quite difficult? And then once I'd made the trousers, they were really, really big. I was sewing the pattern according to my size, so my measurements, and I measured myself and then picked the size accordingly. But when they were finally finished up, it actually says it's quite generous with the positive ease, and they were really quite generous. They were falling down a little bit. So now I've got a pair of trousers that are falling down, and so all you have to do is take them in. But how do you take them in? That's the thing, how do you take them in properly? So I had to retake off the waistband. I redid the darts because I was really gaping at the back. It was the back part that was really, really big. So I redid the darts, put 2 darts in the back, and then I had to resize the waistband, but then the legs were really, really wide. Do you know, essentially I'd made myself the perfect pair of trousers that my little mosher self envied when I was 16. I wanted those really massive, big skater trousers with the big DC trainers. That was the style that I wanted, with a little tiny crop top with some awesome eyeliner. That, you know, and if I could have taught myself how to make the best skater trousers when I was 16, I would have. So I've also taken a good 4 or 5 inches off the leg, off the width of the leg. So I've taken them in a lot, even though they're still really big, they're still really baggy, and I'm really happy with how they're finished, but I've really had to hack the pattern to get the finish that I wanted. Does that make sense? So they are the Portia trousers, just extremely hacked to get the finish that I want. So I think in the future I will make them again. I think I'll have to get a much lighter fabric because the denim is really heavy. It's really heavy. And they're going to be definitely an autumn winter trouser. They're not, I mean, we're coming, it's just started spring, but you know, we're going to be coming, oh, my nose, the alpaca is up my nose. So we're coming into spring, we're coming into summer. And these jeans are really quite heavy. They're going to be really, really warm. So I'd like to make them again, but in a lighter fabric. And I think I'll make them in 2 sizes smaller, and take quite a bit of the width of the leg. So there you go. That was what I've been doing. So I'm really, really happy. I managed to make myself a pair of trousers that fit. That's not what I've been able to do before. I've managed to make, what did I make before? I've made another pair of trousers that never fit. I made 2 pairs of trousers that have never fit. And although I had to do a lot of adjustments on this, they weren't big adjustments. They weren't, you know, they weren't completely take the trouser apart adjustments. It was just to take a waistband off and add some, take in the side seams, put some darts in at the back. Job's a good one. I was really, really happy with it. Yeah. So I made some trousers. How cool is that? There you go. So that is everything that I've been making. I have had a little bit of incoming yarn. I did make a sneaky little purchase because I saw on the Crochet Project's Instagram that the Knitting Shed were having a sale and they were selling coop knits off at £3 a skein. And you can see from all my finished objects this week that I really enjoy the socks. Yeah, so this is my little purchase. I got 2 skeins of Sockia coop knits, and this is in the malachite colour. And this sneaky little purchase cost me £6. What an absolute bargain. So super fine merino and 75% merino, 25% nylon, and they're just absolutely brilliant for socks. And as soon as they block, I mean, they feel soft now, but when it blocks, it's just absolutely beautiful. It blooms lovely, and I thought that colour was just lovely, so I can get a nice pair of socks out of that one. And I also totally forgot to tell you, but a couple of weeks ago I won this very cool crochet hook from Fleabubs and Lala on an Instagram competition. It's just a small competition to win one of her hooks, and that's the one that I got. So I thought that was really, really nice. I don't know if you can see, it's super glittery, rainbow loveliness. Fleabubs by Lala. And that was a couple of weeks ago, and I totally forgot to show you guys, but they she makes these, and I think it's like a polymer clay, but it's like the perfect little if this is how you crochet. However, I crochet like this, and I know that's really odd to some people, but this is how I hold my crochet hook. Is this how? So to hold it like this, because it perfectly fits in your hand, it's really, really comfortable. It just doesn't fit in my hand. Yeah, but it's so cool, it's so lovely. I'm a bit of a loss at what to do with this one, because although I've won it, I don't think I'm going to use it because I'm not going to be able to. Maybe I can pop it in a giveaway. Is that really bad if I won a giveaway and then I give it away again? It's not bad, is it? No, it's paying it forward. I'm going to pay it forward. So eventually, soon. So now, guys, the plans for the future, because I am a little bit of a loss of what to knit for myself. I'm happy making socks and jumpers for the boys. I haven't got anything planned to crochet at the minute, although the crochet project are planning to bring out a lace weight book soon. I have one skein of lace weight yarn upstairs that's just waiting to be called. It's waiting for something to call it. It's very, very bright and rainbow coloured, so we'll see. But no other crochet plans. And I've officially run out of fabric to make enough for anything for myself. I've got enough fabric to make the boys a couple of jumpers, and I've got lots and lots of scraps and lots of bag making things, I think. I'm saying lots. I just need to organise all my material now. Now that I know that I've used all my quantities that I could make myself something, I don't really have the money at the minute to be buying anything else. Although I bought the Coop Knits, I bought it because it was an ultimate bargain. David is not working at the minute, so although we're quite comfortable, he's at 80%, so I just need to be a little bit wary of what we're spending. So I need to start some projects using my scraps, using what I have. Yeah, we'll have to see. Maybe I could make something lovely to go with the crochet hook. And we can do a little giveaway. Pass along the loveliness. What am I talking about now? I don't know, guys, I'm sorry. Yeah, I would like to be able to pay forward the win. It was really, really nice to actually win a little competition. It's annoying that I can't really use it, but it'd be nice to pay it forward again because it is really, really nice and it's lovely. And I think it wouldn't be comfortable for me to crochet with. So yeah, so if I can make something nice to go with it, I can pay it forward. So I keep saying I'm going to make bags. I keep saying I'm going to open an Etsy shop. But yeah, this lockdown has got us a little bit crazy. It's kind of taken over. I don't have, although I've been having extra time because David's at home, we've been having, most of our time is finding activities and keeping the children entertained. And trying your hardest not to shove them in front of a screen because that's really, really easy to do. It's not doing my child's tantrums any good. Edward could seriously play on the computer all day long. Like if we didn't make him turn it off, and go play outside for a little bit and go get some exercise. I don't think he ever would. So it's and then when, you know, if he has that little bit too long on a computer, the grumps come out. I can't stand his grumpy face, and we're all locked in a house together. So we have to try and keep each other entertained and with mindful activities. So he enjoys doing the crafty bits with me, but it only keeps his attention for so long. So although I have managed to get lots and lots of things done, it's mainly because David has been entertaining Edward while James has a nap. So, you know, I get a nice bit of nap time crafts to do, which is when I made my trousers, really. And everything else that I've been knitting and crocheting is been on an evening when everybody's in bed. So, you know, I can't remember my point of my rambles now. I'm going to stop talking because I think James is probably going to wake up soon. So at the minute, Edward and David are playing up on the computer while I talk to myself down here. While the neighbours watch. He has been watching me talk to myself now for a good 30 minutes. Anyway, I am gonna say goodbye. Am I gonna say goodbye? Yes. It's been really, really nice being able to catch up with you guys. I hope everybody is staying calm and safe. Wash your hands, guys. Stay at home. Do your bit. We have been training for this forever. We're not, you know, we don't lack for things to do. There is always a reason for that stash. It's making me very happy to have lots of yarn in my house right now. I've been trying to dwindle down the stash for so long, and now I'm a bit like, oh, it's getting a bit low. Anyway, it's been really, really nice spending time with you guys, and I will catch you next time. See you soon. I'll see you later, guys. Okay, bye.